So you probably know the story or the song of Old MacDonald Had a Farm, but our story this week is called Old MacDonald Had a Wood Shop. And the character is not a person. I'll wait to let you see who the character is when we read the story, but in that story, many characters use different kinds of tools to build something. And so our amazing words are all the names of those tools. So I want you to think real hard about which tool has which name as I read those amazing words to you. So the words are hammer, saw, file, chisel, drill, and screwdriver. Let's go through and talk about each one for just a second. So the really big one here is a saw. That's right. And the saw has a handle and then a blade that has little sharp edges here. It's probably hard for you to see, but they kind of go in a zigzag fashion. And those are called the teeth of the saw because that is what bites through the wood when somebody uses a saw to cut wood. There's more than one kind of saw. Some saws even have two handles and can be used by two people at a time to share the job. So it's all very interesting when it comes to saws. The next tool is a screwdriver. Now this one happens to be a Phillips head screwdriver. There's two kinds. There's a Phillips head that has this little notched end that fits into one kind of screw, and then there's another one called a flathead screwdriver that has just a straight edge that fits into a different kind of screw. And a screwdriver is used, of course, to twist and twist and twist and tighten the screw into whatever it is that's being connected, like wood or metal in some cases. And then the next tool is a hammer, and it has two parts at the top, also has a wooden handle. But this part is the part that you use when you are hitting a nail. This part is used to remove a nail. So if you want to put the nail into some wood, you hit it with this end. If you want to remove it because you don't like the way it looks or it's crooked or you think, oh, I should have put it in a different place, then you put the head of the nail in there and you pop it out of the wood. This is a drill. And this is a very old-fashioned drill. It's probably not one that you've maybe even seen before. You probably are more used to seeing even an electric drill. But this one is an old-fashioned drill that you hold at this end, and then this part goes into the wood or the metal that you want to make a hole into for a screw. So it's got it's called a threaded and it's called a bit, and then that bit goes into the wood or the metal and you twist and twist and twist until you get a hole that matches the kind of screw that you're going to put in. So this happens to be the end that you hold. So when you do this one, I have to put the chart back for a minute, you have to hold it at this end, then you put your other hand on this part and you twist it around and twist it around. It would take a lot of time to do this. And that's why most people now just use an electric drill to make holes really, really quickly for screws. Down here we have a file. And this is a really big file. And you maybe have used a file before on a sharp fingernail or a hangnail that you want to smooth out. And that is one kind of file. This one is used for sharp pieces of metal or wood that you might use when you're building that you need to smooth out so that you don't have sharp edges to hurt you or places where you could get slivers. And then finally, we have a chisel. And it's kind of hard to see, but the end of the chisel is kind of angled. And that is for chipping away at little bits of wood that you don't want in the building that you're making or whatever you're building. So you have to use another tool with this chisel. You hold the chisel in the handle, put this end down into the wood, and then you hit the end of the chisel sometimes with a soft hammer so that you can put pressure on it to push away little bits and pieces of wood. So again, we have saw, screwdriver, hammer, drill, file, and chisel. So when you listen in the song, see if you can hear all of those amazing words.